Hello, this is Joy Olson, Blockbuster Fundraising.
Hello, this is Joy Olson, Blockbuster.
And I am happy to be here with you today, and I hope that we're still there because we're having a little bit of a tough time. So I'm going to ask my assistant, am I there? Are we live? Okay, because we decided to do this kind of on the fly, and I was hoping to give you some more information this entire week on our daily tips. We are concentrating on letters and content, and I ran across something in my massive amount of files, because after 20 years you do amass a lot of great tips. And I thought that I would take some time and come to you this afternoon with some great writing tips from HubSpot. But before I go any further, I kind of want to make sure that we are live. And my production assistant says, we are live. Okay, so let's get started, because these are really good. And I don't know about you, but when I know that I've got to sit down and come up with all kinds of content, and it's got to really be good. It really kind of unnerves me, and I know I'm going to rewrite, and it's not going to be perfect. But anyhow, tips help. So I thought perhaps these tips would help you right now. Okay, this is from HubSpot, and they're perfect, and you really should subscribe to them, and you probably already do. But these are great tips. Okay, number one, open with a question. And they say that it's got to be a question that the reader will want to say yes to. And I just think that is such a great idea. So there's tip number one, open with a question. And tip number two is double tap that enter button every 1 to 2, or actually 2 to 3 sentences. In other words, don't go on and on. Don't have big, huge, long paragraphs. People will get tired before they even read it. And so I try to remember this always. 2 or 3 sentences, tap, tap, double enter, new paragraph. Keep a lot of white space, and it makes it easier. People feel like you're not going to go on and on forever, and it won't be so hard to read. Okay. 3, bold your benefits. And in each letter, you hone down exactly what you are going to say, what your benefits are going to be. So bold these, and this helps you stay on track, and it helps keep your donor on track. When they read your communication, they know exactly what the benefits are, and they've got these in their mind. 4, isolate important information with bullet points. And I think a lot of us are pretty good at this, and it helps us organize our text, organize our thoughts. We highlight our key points, and we draw attention to those key points. So that's good. Good for all of us. Good for us. Good for our donors. 5, and I love this 5th tip. Start sentences with imagine, or remember, or picture this. And these are trigger words, and I think they're wonderful words, and I think they really set up a beautiful story that's coming, and the reader knows this. When you say imagine, and all of a sudden they're ready for a great story, and you're ready to tell that great story, I'm sure, because you've been getting them ready now for at least a couple of months, your best stories for year end. 6th tip, and maybe this will surprise you a little bit, but incorporate the word because as often as possible. And it's amazing to think that because has such an important effect, but it does. It's another trigger word, and it lets people know that they're going to hear a justification point, because you really need to do this. It's going to make you feel really good, and they're ready to accept that after the word because. So use it, and don't use it sparingly. And they say that because has the same effect on paper as it does in person. So because you need to use it. 7, And this is important, and I need to try to remember this. Convert sentences to active voice. Don't have passive sentences. It gets too dull. You want to make it active. For instance, a passive sentence would be, the world record was broken by Joy Olson. Active would be, Joy Olson broke the world record. So you want to try to make your content exciting, interesting, and active. Okay, so what is 8? Tip number 8. Rewrite everything in the second person. And second person is the most engaging narrative model because it's definitely the most personal. You, your, yours. It's going to help your readers, your donors, see themselves in the letter and consequently in the story that you're trying to tell or that you are telling and telling so well. Okay, 9. Count your adverbs and cut them in half. And this is really, really, really important. And I need to do this. And I think this will be a very helpful tip. They give a cute example. They say, for example, instead of writing she's very, very mad, you could write she's irate. So you get the point. Cut the adverbs. Go through and check. I need to do this. I need to take this advice to heart. 10. Amend, it's not easy for me to say, amend your call to action to a call to value. So it's not CTA, it's CTV. And I think that is a wonderful suggestion. And they give a real good example of a travel agent. Call, instead of saying call now for a free quote, they say this. And I wanted to say it word for word, so switch to another piece of paper. Call now and let the anticipation begin. Don't you think that's perfect? So I think that these are wonderful. I thought that perhaps they would inspire you, and as you sit down this week and get ready to write all those letters that are going to make such a wonderful difference to your bottom line on Fundraising 2016, that these would help. It's all about helping you and being your cheerleader, presenting you with best ideas, creative ideas, best practices. And you can find out a little bit more about us here at blockbusterfundraising.com. We have our blog, active on Facebook, and our YouTube channel is great. So here's to your fundraising success. Thanks for spending this time with us. We appreciated it, and we will see you soon on Blockbuster Fundraising. Bye-bye, and thank you again.